Hey there folks, I'm Pesk here with another audio commentary, and today we have a very exciting game between Grubby and Moon. To be honest, actually I've already seen this game because I watched the game live on BlizzCon, but it's just such an amazing, fantastic game that I knew I had to cast it, so I'll try and sort of pretend that I haven't seen it. I'll try and relay what my first impressions were at the time of watching it the first time round. And certainly, whenever you watch a game that someone else is viewing, you always see different things from when you watch something that you're choosing where the camera looks. So certainly, I'll have some new opinions, hopefully. So anyways, in this game we do have Moon versus Grubby. Grubby is currently 1-0 up in this best of 3, and actually last game was fantastic just because Moon was just so outplayed, so trounced, and it wasn't a result of him playing poorly, it was Grubby playing one of the most perfect orc games I've ever seen, really. And so Moon really not in a good position. There is a loser's bracket, but this is actually a game from the first round, so you really don't want to be going into loser's bracket straight off the bat, because it just means you have so much work to do, and you're always just on the verge of being eliminated from the competition. BlizzCon with a huge amount of prize money, I think 25,000 or 30,000 for first place, and then 10,000 for second and 5,000 for third. So something it's the prize pool is like 3 times after WCG, more even than 3 times, and so really well worth winning this. And looks like Moon, one thing to immediately notice, he never put down an Ancient of War, so it looks like we're going to be seeing Huntresses. You do have 2 alternatives. You can either go sort of for crazy Huntresses, 2 Ancient of War Huntresses, constant pressure, stay at tier 1, go for an Ancient Protector tower push, and but the problem with that is that your strategy is really dictated. As soon as Grubby scouts that second Ancient of War, he really knows what you're doing. Actually, you can go Beastmaster and then lots of Huntresses as well. That's a really strong strategy, but the other strategy that you do often see, especially on this map, is just 1 Ancient of War Huntresses, and then finally go for tier 2, and just use your just get a couple Huntresses out, which are obviously good against grunts. They're really quick, they're good for some harassment, and then it gives you a lot of options at tier 2 as well. And it looks like Moon's going to be now finding this 1p on. Neither player has actually scouted each other. Oh, I think Moon's actually just scouted out Grubby now, but sort of there's not too much to scout at this point in the game, and Grubby immediately coming for Moon, even though Moon's doing no creeping of his own, so this is a bit of an interesting choice. You can see Moon is putting down 100 Sol, 1 Ancient of War, and it looks like Grubby just going to be taking these creeps. Actually, that's a much better move than just you want to try and steal the creeps that are. It's nice to steal creeps that are close to Moon, but more importantly, it's just to go to some place that Moon's not going to be expecting. So you can see Moon maybe was expecting Grubby to creep out this one trapper for the nice tome there, and so he does go by some dust actually, which is a good thing to get as well. And Grubby doing some nice multitasking. It looks like his grunt is over here. He has 2 grunts which will be able to creep this out, and Grubby just needs to be able to creep without Moon being around, because obviously Moon, no Ancient of War creeping, not even an archer out at this point, really has no creeping that he can do. He just needs to try and find and harass Grubby, and Moon has already started his tier 2 tech, and I imagine Grubby has started his. Yes, he has. And so looks like Moon's going to be going for that second strategy that I was describing, where once you hit tier 2, you can go for lowers, you can go for Ancients of Winds. Lowers are a bit more common just because you already have that 100 Sol up, and there's a couple other cool things you can do as well. You can go for a tower rush as soon as you hit tier 2, and that's something that orcs are really weak to if they don't scout it, especially on this map. And so lots of orcs have started just doing excessive scouting for Ancient Protectors, trying to find things, and you can see there's actually 2 wisps here, and Grubby actually already scouting around for these wisps, but it looks like I don't think he saw them there, so that's a bit unfortunate for him. He's really going to need to find those, and it looks like Moon now trying to take down a grunt. This is a type of small thing that you have to do before you get too many Huntresses out. You could just want to try and scout that out, but meanwhile Grubby, with a very solid base build, just blocks his grunts in with other grunts, and that's going to force Moon out, because Moon's taking a lot of damage from the burrows, and you just can't afford to be doing that. And meanwhile Grubby doing some shopping of his own now, has hit level 2 just from creeping these small green camps, and actually buying a Staff of Teleportation. That's quite an interesting choice there, and Moon rallying more and more wisps to this one little location here, so it looks like an Ancient Protector tower push is really on the books, and that's a really strong strategy if it's not scouted out. And you can see Grubby always sending grunts down here. He's not going to be doing creeping here, he's just scouting out for wisps. He needs to know if Moon's going to be going for that tower rush, and when it's coming, because it can come anytime basically until your bestiary is halfway done, at which point it becomes a bit useless. And by halfway done, I mean like you have to have your Ancient Protectors done and walking in by the time it's halfway done, and at that point sort of raiders start coming out and it becomes a lot harder to win. But obviously as soon as orc hits tier 2, they have a Blade Master and 3 grunts. It's a few of Demon Hunter, 3 300s. Oh, but it looks like these wisps have been scouted out now, and so Moon's going to be forced to run them away, and Grubby actually, ooh, nice play there by Grubby using a speed scroll to try and get some of these kills here. One of these wisps is run back, nice save there by Moon, and this one is going to be detonated. This is obviously is on land, so there's some very, very low ping, and you can see Moon even put one wisp here where Grubby couldn't kill it. So a nice sort of crisis management there by Moon. We're going to need to see Moon go for a different strategy. Meanwhile, Grubby, I like this move, putting this peon right in the back of Moon's base. It's going to mean that he's going to be able to scout any tech that Moon goes for, and Moon can't put any buildings back here because this peon is in the way, and obviously the Demon Hunter can't, or the Beastmaster even can't get in as well, just because there's just because he'd have to uproot this Ancient of War, and also he's so far away, and this is a key time for Moon to do some damage, although it looks like actually he's been chased away. I think it'd be nice if Moon went for some harassment. Grubby went for 2 Bestiaries, interesting choice, clearly anticipating some lore play, which is very, very common, and meanwhile Moon no tier 2 buildings yet, and looks like he's just going to be actually catching Grubby out a bit here, goes for the Shroud, slightly misses it. Grubby doesn't have the mana to Windwalk, so that would have been absolutely huge. He would have had to use the Staff of Teleportation, and he would have taken 200 or 300 damage, and that's just not a position you want to be in when Moon can put on so much pressure, and Grubby's going to take a long time to heal. Meanwhile, this Shadow Hunter is now coming out for Grubby, so a really high DPS single target focusing army from Grubby if you were to go for Wind Riders, but it looks like we are now seeing one Ancient of Wind. Ooh, Grubby using a Staff of Teleportation to get into the base of Moon, going to be able to cancel this one Ancient of Wind. Moon looks like he's going for dots, as indicated by the Beastmaster, I suppose, but that's going to mean that the 2 Bestiaries are much less useful, because you really do need Dispel in this matchup just to be able to get rid of that Cyclone and the Fairy Fire. Meanwhile, Moon has actually got a surround on one of the grunts there, does get the kill, and that's a bit of experience there for that Beastmaster and Demon Hunter, and it looks like Grubby now really unable to do anything, can't even get out of the base because he is trapped. Good to try and kill some wisps, maybe kill the gold mine, things like that. It's just a good use of your time, and looks like even this one peon trying to hit that one wisp as well. Nice play there by Moon, who's actually decided to counterattack, and the Shadow Hunter needs to be very, very careful not to go down at this point. Ooh, Moon goes for the surround here, running behind the gold mine. He should be safe, and nice, you can see there what Grubby did. He held that one Raider in position. Ooh, actually Grubby running that way, that's a bit greedy of him, really trying to get out as quickly as possible, but Grubby did hold that one Raider there to try and force the Demon Hunter to go too far, and then he just ran his Shadow Hunter down. Smart play there by Grubby, and Moon now being forced to TP home because he's taking a lot of damage. A lot of his hunters are very low from the burrow damage, and he has scouted out the 2 Bestiaries, so he's going to be very happy with that. And Grubby, meanwhile, trapped in Moon's base, and absolutely nothing you can do about it. Gets dusted as well, but Moon can't get in to do anything else either. So really, we're going to have to see who's going to be able to kill whose heroes. Grubby does have the Staff of Teleportation, which will soon be off cooldown, and Moon now has rebuilt that second Ancient of Wind, but you can see they've taken a lot of damage. He should probably uproot this one and just eat a tree or something, and this Ancient of War is uprooted. Grubby goes for the run, but it looks like, oh my god, the Ancient of War gets this around, and it looks like this Blade Master is going to be forced to use a Staff to teleport out at 91 hit points remaining. You can see Moon even pulled off a couple wisps to try and get a late surround if he did get past the Ancient of Wind, and that's very smart. And Grubby actually TP'd straight to this army here. A bit surprising, because I don't think he's going to be willing to put on any pressure now that there's 2 dots out, as well as these 2 Huntresses, which are actually, obviously you don't see Huntresses too often in this situation, just because you never want to have to build that 800 all if you don't have to, but they are actually really good tanks, and they work very well at protecting those dots if you can keep them alive for the early parts of the battle, but by the later stages of the game they are going to die, obviously, and but they'll definitely have served their purpose, but just they're a bit expensive if you're not gonna, if you don't have to tech switch from something else. And it looks like Grubby now bringing in a peon. That's quite interesting. He does. Ooh, he's actually building a war mill, so maybe we're gonna be seeing some sort of tower rush. We're gonna have obviously lots of unarmored units here, but now that Moon has hit tier 3, he does have that orb, which is just so scary for Grubby. And the Dot Master training over, or almost halfway done now, and it looks like Grubby just gonna do some creeping of his own, and that's a good choice here on this map, because there's some fantastic creeping that can be done, and it's really tricky for Moon to do equivalent creeping. And Grubby now still pumping out these raiders. Interestingly, he still hasn't gone for a Spirit Lodge. He has gone for a War Mill though, and is getting the first attack upgrade. And I quite like getting upgrades actually on this map, just because you're quite likely to get quite long games, and upgrades pay for themselves much better on the long games. And Grubby, going for some very ambitious creeping here. Nice use of pulling out the creeps and then using lots of ensnares to keep the creeps from doing less damage from you to you, and looks like Grubby can be able to creep this out quite happily. Ooh, picking up a Staff of Silence. That's going to be absolutely huge against dots. Obviously dots are just so nice to to get off all those. They just have so many spells they need to be casting. Their damage is pretty much negligible, so if you can silence them, you basically negate them, and that is so big. Meanwhile, Grubby also hitting level 2 on his Shadow Hunter, and will soon hit level 3 on his Blade Master as well. And it looks like Moon trying to find Grubby. He has done some creeping of his own here. What item did he pick up? Oh, it looks like whatever item it was, he sold it. Still not picking up a third hero though for Moon. And we can see Moon's going to be able to do some creeping, but much smaller creeping. Ooh, actually Grubby putting out an expansion as well. Nice choice here by him. And Grubby now going to be maybe doing some creeping here, although he might scout out Moon. Yes, he does scout out Moon immediately. He goes for 2 ensnares, and those cyclones are going off. Will Grubby be able to use the Staff of Silence? There it goes. Look at that, hitting all those dots, and that is just so bad for Moon now. And looks like Moon going to be trying to focus down a couple of these raiders, but Grubby with just the best micro of just bringing back low units. He does it better than, like, obviously that's a key thing in Warcraft 3, but he basically does it better than anyone. This one low grunt getting away, oh no, one last dot hit, taking it out, and looks like this one Demon Hunter is actually in a bit of trouble, has been ensnared and silenced as well, and this silence is just so bad now for Moon, who really just he has the mana on his dots, he just can't cyclone it, he just needs to keep that Blade Master in the air, and Moon actually with quite a bad position, getting a couple dots ensnared, and then surrounded by raiders, and that's just really not a good thing to happen for you at all. But you can see Grubby with no dispel means that actually he's taking a lot of hits from this, or he's taking a lot of damage from the from this army of Moon, because he just can't keep his Blade Master in the battle. But Demon Hunter is finally coming back into the battle now, immediately going for Mana Burn on the Blade Master. Obviously that Shadow Hunter now out of mana, so not really worth using a Mana Burn on, and so it looks like Moon still getting dots, caught a bit out of position. Moon goes for this round now on the Blade Master. Will he get it? Those hunters just move up, but oh my god, he just managed to slip out of the bottom, and silence just being used so much. Moon picking up a Tinker actually at the end of the battle. That's interesting. Obviously it would have been great if he could picked it up at the beginning. Maybe he just didn't have the money, but this is all just so good for Grubby. He's just buying lots and lots of time for his expansion to go up. He's even putting down a Spirit Lodge now, and raiders, obviously it's just a bunch of the raiders need to be healed up, but we're not going to give Grubby any time. Ooh, nice mana burn there, 47 mana, just so that Shadow Hunter not to have any mana at all. Does buy a mana potion and a lesser clarity potion though, and this Tinker now going to be able to help out a lot, maybe even cancel the Spirit Lodge, and I think Moon should probably get out of here. You know, I think I saw, yeah, Grubby did pick up a TP, so he's clearly going for a base race strategy, trying just to buy time for the expansion, but this will certainly do. He is going to lose his Spirit Lodge, but that's not going to be too big of a problem for him as long as he can get that expansion up. The Demon Hunter now caught in a bad position, but does have a TP, and it looks like a couple of these hunters are going to go down now to the burrows, and they won't be rebuilt, and it looks like Moon to finally TP out now that this Blade Master is back on the ground, and it does get out of there eventually, and this Pocket Factory is going to be able to take it down will be taken down by Grubby for a bit of free experience, but this expansion is now up. Grubby needs to bring some peons down. I wonder how much lumber he has. He doesn't have too much lumber, so he'll need to actually build some more peons, which is a bit of a shame. Just generally don't want to do that if you don't have to. Moon with a couple wisps around the map, obviously scouting for expansion, but this isn't the place you'd really scout for an expansion. Obviously it's a bit of a less safe position, but it's also less likely to be scouted, so you really just have to, as a pro player, you have to occasionally take ones which are really easily defended and one which are occasionally really hard to defend but really unusual positions, just so that you don't become predictable. And in this case I guess Grubby felt that it would be better for him to be able to put one here where he doesn't think Moon's going to be scouting for a while, and also I think Grubby just wants to be trying to do hit and runs on Moon's base now to keep him distracted, and Moon now going to hit level 3 on his Demon Hunter and actually level 3 on his Beastmaster as well, but ooh, Hawk being brought out immediately just as that Blade Master comes out. Very nice timing there by Moon, and it's going to mean that he will be able to finish off this creeping in peace, and actually almost missed the toe of strength there, but the Blade Master does eventually run out, but after having been mana burnt, and Grubby interestingly not actually scouting down here. Oh no, he is scouting down here with a raider. That's very smart choice for him, and it looks like an ancient war being built to try and just slow down that expansion. That's a nice strategy, and you can see Grubby immediately having to respond by going for this base race strategy. He has a lot of raiders, and it looks like he actually cancelled that first attack upgrade, maybe to build his expansion a bit quicker, and so it looks like he's going to go for that Tree of Eternity, but eventually he's going to be forced to TP out. Grubby not going to be able to do enough damage here, I don't think. Nice and Snares actually going off on those wisps. If he managed to take down that Tree of Eternity, this would be huge, but he's forced to TP out a bit too early. His Blade Master was forced out of that battle, and so it looks like this Tree of Eternity will stay alive, but Grubby with Pillage will be able to actually gain a whole lot of money from that attack nonetheless, and didn't take too much damage. I don't think he lost any units, just because obviously it's so hard to focus down units in that situation, and whenever Moon now TPs in, he just gets immediately silenced by that by that Staff of Silence, and obviously all the dots are clumped together when you TP in, so you can really get a hugely effective silence. And Moon, meanwhile, now helping out this Ancient of War with the Demon Hunter. Interestingly, he hasn't got Nature